My name is Shawn. I am a past participant at the mission. I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I was raised in Sacramento, California. I started my homelessness journey in Florida when I moved there in like 2011 or 2010. I was living with my uncle and I was kicked out, and then I decided to stay, and I was homeless. My mother gave me a ticket to come back to Sacramento. And on the way, I stopped here in Los Angeles. She informed me that she wanted me to stay with my father, who lived in Pacoima, which is way at the top of the valley. I agreed. And then from there, I stayed. I had always been interested in our culture, and I always wanted to live in a city environment. And so that's what I did. I stayed, and then I slowly migrated from Pacoima to different parts of Los Angeles. When I discovered downtown Los Angeles, it had already been 7-8 years down the line. As time went on, I got more and more comfortable. I think it's a common thing what happens when you're on hard drugs in Los Angeles. You become very comfortable with the environment. It can seem as if it's supportive of crime. I found out about the Midnight Mission by talking to local resource centers. I wanted to look for some resources, and the Midnight Mission was something that came up. I thought that maybe I needed a change, and I was a bit intimidated when I first saw the Midnight Mission on the outside, but then when I walked in and I saw how how clean and how structured it was, it attracted me more to it because I like structure and cleanliness. A lot of the skills that I acquired through this program, life skills and stuff, were immediately applied when I got into my unit. After a little while of conditioning myself to pay rent and everything, then I become way more comfortable with it, and I enjoy it. On days where I can have the day off, or on the weekends, I really like to kind of be in my own space, and it's healing for me. I have been around people for so long. Now that I have time and space to myself, it gives me time to regenerate. The Midnight Mission is a fantastic place for someone who really wants to make that change in their life. When I became alumni, it was my third time around. My first two times, the first time I spent 10 months, and that was kind of difficult. Had to get used to an environment where people were helping me. Wasn't used to receiving help because I perceived it as dominion or dictatorship or something. These people didn't have my best interests at heart, and that made me rebellious. My second time around, I was only here for a day, and I went back out. After a period of incarceration, I became what we call in the rooms sweetly reasonable. When I came back, I was ready to do anything that it took to overcome my homelessness journey. For someone who wants to really change, they offer so much here. They really can give a person a platform to get out of this lifestyle, Yeah, so I always advocate for the Midnight Mission. Anytime I see someone out there, I always tell them to go to the mission. For a person who has the ability to change their life, it's all right here. Definitely want to progress. I have a goal of finishing the 12 steps. The next step for me is to go to a barber college and learn how to cut hair. After that, then go to a city college and start with remedial classes and kind of leave it open to have an experience to understand what I really would like to follow through with when it comes to educational goals. I think something that I would say to a new client is you don't have to live like this, anymore. There are options out here if you really want it, and you can do it.